Honestly, I have no idea where it comes and goes. But I mean, today I just wanted to do a quick stream and check in because I haven't streamed in a while, and I want to let you know that I'm here. And I want to let you know that we're together, and that for me this is a space of a lot of softness. Where I'm just gonna play something and go put on some coffee. Maybe let's try that today because yesterday was Friday night, but I just did not feel like it was the right time to stream. You know, like, and I woke up today seeing how the Mutants mixtape Discord that Ari and Urchin and Evie have set up has been so active, and it just gives me so much hope. It just gave me so much to see. It gives me goosebumps to think about this. Like really think about the implications and of how radical and beautiful it is for a community-led incentive to allow for a place for our creativity to go to, a place where we can put our time and our energy and our creativity and come together for a cause. I mean, really think about this. That could be something that's ongoing and and actually have a profound and lasting impact. I believe in that. I'm not putting pressure on the project, but I just find the potential to be so limitless, you know? Like, people come together, mutants coming together. Like, if the mutants are coming together, come on. The amount of creativity and Evie and Urchin, Luna was telling me that it was Urchin that said it, like, maybe we could do a mixtape and raise fun, you know, and I was like, so it's Urchin, Evie, and Ari, but then I logged in today and I noticed that they did something. There is no more admin or mod, like, I don't see the admin or mod at the top. It's like there's a level of generosity, of putting aside ego to come together, even though we don't know what's going to come from that project. It's just so beautiful because we all get to learn what we're able to do together, you know? And I was very moved and very thrilled. Yeah. Front hole trauma. Look, front hole. I'm your friend. Chola is here. Ray is here. Afexton is here. Diego is here. We can all be your friends. I wonder what Mr. Tim is saying in Russian. Hi, Mr. Tim. La Villana, you make... Today we're waking up. Today we're waking up softly. Okay, I'll stop talking a little bit. But yeah, we're all friends here. I'm gonna play Psalm, which is something that some of you girls will know about. But I want to play it slowed down so it's a little bit more ambient. And you can have a moment amongst yourselves to chat while I'm gonna maybe make a little bit of coffee. That sounds good. So I'll queue up more than one song, so we can. Let's just have a moment to make space within and make space together. I know that sounds like a strange thing, but that's a thing. Coming together and making internal space by coming together and having that intention, I think that has a beauty. And then when you make space, you make space for new connections, for creativity, for willpower to emerge, to figure out, how do I want to use my energy today? What do I want to, what's meaningful to me? What do I want to be doing? How can I do that? How can I connect with people? How can I make friends, new friends? It's never too late to make new friends. How can I, not open up too fast, but not stay closed either? think there's a beautiful balance. These are just some thoughts I was thinking, you know? Having a shared goal, you know, with someone else that can help you put aside differences and actually find new ways to mediate identity, find new ways to mediate ego. So I'll make it nice and amniotic in here. That's my intention, that's my goal. I don't want to leave when it's like crackling. If it if you will all let me know. Hopefully, when I come back, you will all, maybe you can all let me know like if it was like crackling and glitching out, and if so, maybe I just do a quick restart, or we just maybe like I just mess around with my settings a little bit. Be right back. Oh no, I know what I'd love to do right now. I'd love to play piano for you. I'd love to improvise a piano piece. I'll come and chat in a little bit. Let me check what's going on. Okay, let me play some reversed. And let me also pitch it up so it's a little bit more shiny. This may be of interest. the coffee is almost done. And then once I have my coffee, like it's boiling right now. And then once I have it, I'm gonna bring it here and I'm gonna play piano and bless each of you. I can't believe somebody said someone's going off about Dua Lipa on this. I actually have a question. Oh my gosh, I can't. No. No, I want to keep this moment, this stream. It's not that I want to keep it to be a serious stream, but I want to keep it to be a serious stream. I want to share some thoughts I have as well before I play piano very quickly about the function of anger. Because I think anger makes a lot of us uncomfortable. I know for a lot of my life, I was terrified of making other people angry at me. And then for another part of my life, I was terrified at the idea of showing any anger I had. And I want to talk about it. Because I feel like there's lots of things, lots of moments when anger has an important purpose. It's the instance of reminding you that you didn't cause what's happening that made you angry. You know, you might have a part in it, but not even. It's just like when you suppress anger and you just like skip to being sad about something, you don't really give anger a chance to fulfill its function, which is like to disentangle you from whatever you're angry about, whoever you're angry with. It could be a one-on-one interaction where someone's like they're just trying it over and over and over again, and rather than like being angry at them, you just skip to being sad. Like that can be messed up. And I did that for a lot of my life and a lot of my relationships, where I was like never showing anger. I would just like skip to feeling like not seen and then get sad and hide it. And it's like, actually, like sometimes in relationships it's important to be able to make space for anger to be expressed without judgment, you know? I'm not saying feed anger, because that is, if you stay stuck in anger, we know what that is. That's anger management issues. That's breakdown of communication. That's narcissistic ego defense. I'm not saying stay in the anger, but I'm saying don't shy away from any anger you have as well, because that's a rainbow of emotion, and it's just as important as sadness. It's just as important as joy. They all fulfill functions, you know? So I'm sorry if I'm sounding like too serious or too school teachery or whatever, but yeah, I think anger is very intimately connected with sadness. Sometimes you do feel angry because deep down you're sad, and sometimes you feel very sad because deep down you're angry. You can actually become out of touch with one of those feelings and then rely on the other, and that's something that if one is conscious about, you can encourage yourself to not be shy and share your full rainbow. Like share, you know, open your full rainbow. It can actually help you. It can actually help relationships be real. All right, so the coffee is definitely boiling right now. I'll be right back because I don't want to set the house on fire. Oh my gosh, let me get my other laptop so I can read chat, because every time I open chat here, it's like the glitch. Let me get I have like a tour laptop that I run like the stage sessions on. That's the one that I usually use for chat. Be right back. Yeah, for years I toured with just like my personal laptop, and then I would like do I would do like the sound check at a festival, and like leave my laptop up there, and then like go into the green room. One day I was just they stole my suitcase at a festival in Italy. Literally stole. This was before there was anyone in there. You know what I mean? Like, it was during sound check, and after that happened, I was like, okay. I'm just gonna get like a laptop that can run the session, nothing fancier, and that was the first time I was like, why do I ever want two laptops? But that was the first time that I was like, okay, wait, I can't lose the laptop I make the music on because there's so many sensitive files on that. And oops, I'm rambling. Okay, I'm getting into chat now. Thank you for your patience. Oh my gosh, you all actually waited. Thank you so much. I made coffee. I really needed it. I jumped in. I was like thinking about how, you know, basically, I was like, I like the regularity of the streams. Like, there's not an official, schedule for the streams, but I also like the spontaneity, alright, of like trying things at different times. You kind of get different moods. Alright, I'm in chat now. Hey Perra, what did SpiderKick666 say that you're WTFing about US GAR? Yes, definitely Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. And that's actually part of why I didn't feel like it made sense to stream yesterday and do like I was just like, I needed to think about everything, you know. I needed to, and then I woke up today. Does everyone here know about Mutant Mixtape? Does everyone here know about it? Because it's not just for one cause. It's for the causes that we decide. You see, like, this is a project. There's a Discord server called Mutants Mixtape. It was a community-led initiative between Urchin, Ari, and Evie. And this is the thing. This is actually a server where you can come in there, share your art for a cause, and not only that, but you don't have to share your art for a cause that you don't believe in. You can make your voice heard. You could be like, you know, this first one right now, we're coming together to help the United States. Why? Because for many reasons. First of all, the United States is, for all practical effects and purposes, a world stage. Now, I don't think that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's how it is. The cultural production, SpiderKick. Everyone, please don't, no. Everyone, please be kind right now, okay? No. This is a very important moment. No, stop. Everyone stop right now. Do not come for SpiderKick666. No. Look, this is something, we're going to come up with situations like this over and over again in our communities. Let this be an instance where we connect. Let this be an example of a moment where someone comes in and says something insensitive, and maybe we can appeal to their sensibility. And if you can't, then you move on. And yes, then SpiderKick666 is cheap. But for a moment, just open that window of time to be like, Spider, maybe you feel like this doesn't affect you directly, but it does. It does. We are, geopolitically speaking, in a time of flux, in a time of crisis, in a time of change, for many reasons. No one is saying that one issue is more important than the other. That's actually the point. We need to stand up every time that we can. We need to make eye contact with the other. In this case, Spider, you have come into a stream where you are othering yourself by making a view known that you know is very polarizing and that you know is very sensitive. And you're not the only person like that. You're not the only person like that. We need to be patient with people because sometimes an expression can be misguided. Sometimes there can be positive intentions and a very, very corrupt belief system. And sometimes it takes patience to cause an awakening. And if every time you come, it doesn't always happen, okay? But once in every 100, a person that's trying to trigger you might weirdly be moved by the fact that you have more in common with them. Like, think about it. It's just, I'm not saying to be Gandhi about it. I'm not saying to like let anyone spit in your face. Boundaries are as important, if not more important now than this is boundaries, always important. So don't ever take any disrespect, but also try not to feel disrespected when someone is lashing out, because sometimes that kind of problematic behavior, whether it be in a schoolyard as a bully, whether it be, criminalized behavior, these are instances in which if we manage to slow down our impulses, if we manage to slow down our judgment and not throw rocks and not hit back, it's not a luxury that we always have. I understand that. But if you can find it within you to be generous enough to make space for the person that is saying something that perpetuates hate, that is not intersectional, then maybe an encounter can occur. Maybe you can actually connect. And that's what this is about, It's about not coming into this as a discourse. I'm not even saying cancel culture. No, I'm talking about on a one-to-one level. Like this right now is an example of something that'll happen when we finish the stream and we go out into our physical communities, including our families. We're facing this interaction one-on-one. So unless you're gonna you can cancel family members, okay? I'm no contact with the majority of my family. I remember when I put something out recently, they were like, oh my gosh, did your family like the project? I'm like, I don't know. And this was someone who was usually really happy that when their parents get something that they're doing, because parental relationships are very, 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 very complicated. But Spider, you can unsub. You can unsub. But just know that I don't harbor any hate for you for the words that you have expressed. I don't believe that I am someone that can change your mind at this point based on your responses, but just know that whatever hurt you have, you're not the only one hurting. If you can step out of your head enough to understand that, your life will be better. It's not about other people, telling you what to think. It's about intersecting what everyone around you, what all the self-states inside of you have in common for living in a world that was a little bit more like the way you wish it were. And I doubt, Spider, that you want to live in a world where other people's pain is commodified as a lashing out that just gets you attention, That's the last thing I'll say about that situation. Bye, In Vitro. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm just going to play a little bit of piano. I'm going to play a little bit of piano and just vibe. Language is so imperfect. The fallibility of language, I don't know. There's no there's just a situation where it's like, if you slow down the conversations, sometimes you can reach new conclusions. So in this situation, you know, even though there's so much fire, literally, on the streets, I'm not saying it's nuanced, girl. You can't just split. You can't just go unquestioningly into any cause, and you can't question a cause because it is a cause. You need to really think about this. Like, how does this affect your day-to-day life? This is not a bubble. We're all connected. Intersectionality is a very important word. I was talking about how I don't even know how to translate that in Spanish. Exacto, Brian. La interseccionalidad. What does that mean? La interseccionalidad es, no hay ningún prejuicio. No se puede luchar contra un tipo de prejuicio. You can't fight against one kind of prejudice. You must fight against prejudice. Se lucha contra el prejuicio. And that means opening your mind up. Opening your mind up. Listening to other people's feelings and not denying them. Seeing them as valid and having a conversation. This is better than saying, your worries are not valid. Your fears are not valid. And in the case of what Spider said, which is baiting us, and it didn't work, to say that some lives don't matter, well, that says a lot more about how you feel about your own life than it does about anyone else's. And this is the trick. This is the important part of this. A lot of times when people show disrespect, they show how they feel about themselves. And period. So that person is hurting, and my heart goes out to anyone in these instances that don't understand how much they've locked their pain away. It's tragic. It's a micro tragedy. Like, it's not any less than a tragedy, because the irony of prejudice, the irony of enabling a system of oppression is that the dehumanization happens both ways. You know, you can't dehumanize someone else without dehumanizing yourself. Just like showing love and showing dignity is a way of dignifying and loving oneself in the face of conflict. It's so important. It's so important. Yes, Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. And you know, I have the patience today because I woke up softly. Sometimes I don't have this patience. I'm not telling everyone here to be a saint. I'm not telling everyone that you have to always rise above or go high. You know, I'm just saying, if that's available to you, if it's available to you to remember that the other is in pain, then when you get lashed out against for being other in any way, for being queer, for being black, for being brown, for having any identity with a marker that others can read as a surface, know that the other person's pain is their own. You don't have to take that on board. You don't even have to let it in. You don't even have to give it time of day. If you don't have the energy, you could just pay it and be like, you know what? Because sometimes when you react, you give the other person unconsciously the satisfaction of knowing that they can get a reaction. And they might be feeling so alone that any reaction is better than the loneliness. That's what happens with trolls. That's what happens with bullies. That's what happens with people that are homophobic, transphobic. That's what people, it's just like, they don't know where else to get this immediate reaction, this high intensity reaction of aggression, of shame. You know, these are very triggering feelings. So it's like the news, like, you know what tends to get clicks is like fear. You know, trust building, that's not very viral. Like situations where two parties over the course of a long time earned trust, That's not very viral, so we're working in a system that tends to, yeah, like Baby D saying feeding a monster. It really is. I mean, that's why intention is important, and remembering like boundaries. I think boundaries. And Spider Kick, we're here for you. And there's nothing more beautiful than someone who says something triggering and hateful and then realizes their mistake. If anyone ever apologizes, take that with tenderness. If anyone ever recognizes their mistake, that takes humility. So just as easy as we can be hard on someone, also please try and recognize people that are making an effort to look inward. We can never read each other's mind. I've seen people say, people that are silent right now are complicit in the system, which I agree. There's a degree of that. And I see people that post right now are being fake. They don't really care. It's like, basically, there is no right or wrong thing to do at any given point in time. It's about asking yourself what feels right in this moment. And if what you ask yourself about what feels right in this moment is calibrated toward connecting with the other, instead of tearing the other down, then trust that instinct. And also trust any instinct to protect yourself. Because this is very, 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 it's very, there's a risk when you come into contact with someone who doesn't understand what your values are, and they feel like they're part of a dominant system, or that the system is on their side. There is risk. So please, everyone in here, please measure that. Please remember that, Don't put yourself at risk needlessly. Fight the good fight in ways that make an impact. Don't try and convince one person that's problematic and lashing out at you. If you're not getting any responses, if you're not, if you don't feel like there's a connection, a conversation, then just save your energy for someone who can see you, Is the piano loud enough? Should I appreciate the energy in the chat. I see it. I like that. I like the mood. It's like a vigilant, like keeping an eye out. Like, I'm not gonna, I like that works. If someone acts out, you're very much in the right to keep an eye out and be like, let me see what the next move is. And if the next move crosses a boundary, it's a, you know what I'm saying? Like, not guillotine, Vienna, Jesus. I don't believe in capital punishment. Carry it. Yes, he did. I just get baffled, And I also sometimes feel very powerless. And girl, I have been calling out insane behavior in my family since I was like a kid. Not just about race, but about prejudice to all kinds of things. And it gets hard to know how much to fight, you know, because if you see someone every day and there's all these like little microaggressions they throw around and you just end up feeling so different from them. It's sad, you know, but then that's why this public conversation, this discourse exists, you know? Like, if in your immediate family and nucleus, these things are not, let it be understood, they're not even recognized. Hold that space inside for yourself as a favor to yourself. Because like I say, dehumanization works both ways. I wish I could, you could see the keyboard. Wait, let me turn the auto-tune off so you can hear my voice. This I got to be senti dentro Oh my gosh, someone just reminded me about my coffee. I love you so much. Why would you be so cute? I've been wanting to drink my coffee the whole time. But then Spider came and I got distracted, and thank you so much. You're so cute. I can't with you guys. I'm gagging. Wait. What is it? I just had a really crazy mouthful of coffee. It was like my hair got into it, and then you know, like when you heat up milk, it gets like the skin on the milk. I just had the gnarliest sip of coffee I've ever had. Okay. No, Chola, my coffee's already cold. I've been talking so much. What is that thing that happened? I had like hair and skin milk and like lukewarm mouthful. Jeez. I know, the skin on the milk. La piel de la leche. Someone's requesting Cola by Lana. But I don't know. Right now I just feel like kind of improvising my own music. Maybe I can play under the ASMR here. Wait, I want to ask. Because I like when I collaborate with everyone in here. Type 2, type 2 for dry, like a dry piano, and type 3 for like reverby wet piano. Because I played the piano very differently. So 2 if you want it dry, 3 if you want it like wet and like. Oh my gosh, everyone is saying 3. Well, geez, the reason I asked was because it says wet as hell. The reason I asked is because some pianists are like, if you're. Okay, well, damn. Okay. Okay, no, I got it. It's gonna be wet as hell, jeez. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right? Like, You wanna swim? Damn, you wanna swim like crazy? Oh my god, okay. Wait. Estaba exagerando. I was exaggerating. I'm gonna make the piano wet, but I don't need to make it be like this wet on the voice. That would be so ridiculous. Wait, you know what I haven't said once? Radio Diva! I just saw a note about the notes. I'm gonna do that on June 4th. I mean, I know some people had some questions about the notes. I'm designing like a little thingy. Do you think it's weird if I put perfume on it, on the notes? Is that illegal? Also, do you think I should do it with gloves and a mask? Because I don't want people in the post office to be like, what is going on with this envelope? Smells like monkey piss. Like, is that illegal? I have a perfume that's perfect for it too, because it's not too strong. But imagine the girls at the girls at the post office, everyone doing shipping is using. Yeah, I thought so. But then, damn, like a street. What if I do? Okay, this sounds crazy because if I, I'm reading the chat, like all of it. I'm reading every single line right now. Like everything that everyone's typing right now, I'm reading all of it. Front hole. I'm asking Patreon for like support because some people subbed and then there was like a problem with some of the like signups and like some people that had to sign up back up again. My intention is not to like make them. My intention is not to make the notes like super exclusive. Like anyone who's like confused of whether they get a note, I want to give that person a note. Like it's to me that was a very touching time because I didn't really know how a project like the Patreon was going to be received because I was like, I mean, and so if you were in the mix like around that time, like I'll get to you. So that's kind of my attitude about that, you know. Yeah, I was thinking, but I wanted to, going back to like Exoral, Brujita. Can you play the song you sang live in New York some time ago? Lo que pasó entre tú y yo. Oh my gosh, you some of you remember the most specific lyrics? Antipoiesis, I don't know. Okay, I'm confused though. Everyone is saying, so I'm gonna do the live stream. I'm gonna sign them on stream. That's basically the thing. So, oh, Miss Acid, that sounds awful. I'm gonna do them on stream. Just like if I'm gonna do that on stream with gloves. If I do it on stream with, can I just mute the merch bot for a second? Sometimes it's obnoxious. It's like a automatic, so. I'm signing everyone's username. So I'm reading everyone's name out loud, and I want to write it by hand. It might take a little bit, but I'd rather do it with intention and have it be like this special thing than Ray, do you think it would be, should I just do it on this stream? More people might be able to tune in even if they're not getting a note. That's why I just didn't want to make people jealous, like, but maybe that's the serve. It's like, well, if the girls signed up, they signed up, so it's on Twitch, and other people be like, what is she signing? Can I get one? And they'd be like, no, that's for the dolls. Wait, ask each user? What do you mean? Ask each user what they want? I could, yeah, I'm down for that. For sure. You mean ask each user what they want the name to say? Because I was thinking about every note was just going to be like the person's name and then I sign it. So it's like two people's names, mine and the patron. So I thought that would be cute. It's just like the two names and then my handwriting. Okay, cool. So I'll just do it on Twitch. I'll let everyone know. 15 hours stream. But Woyla, what do you mean? Ask if it's not in terms of preferences on perfume. Oh, that's a great idea. The perfume. That's a really good idea. Yeah, optional perfume. I have the perfume too. It's this perfume that I got. It's like, oh, I wish you could smell it. It's so beautiful. I've actually shown it on stream before. Let me show it. Vomit all over you, running like everybody. So why I put on my perfume, I vomit all over you, girl. I'm gonna show you like everybody. It smells basically. The pretty girls know. It smells like. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it makes me so happy. I can't tell you how much this perfume makes me happy. It reminds me of everything I ever wanted when I was 11. That's all I can say. It's called Soeur de Bouquet, Miss Joanne. It's called Soeur de Bouquet by Miss Joanne. They tore it. It's Korean, but they went like very Western, like serif and like French. You know how they give? No, she's not French. She's Korean. She's Korean giving French. Like, look. Do you know what I mean? Like when, like in Japan and Korea, the like cosmetics are like being like, look, girl, this is European. Like as a styling mood board. It's very, very fab. This smell is like flowers, like a meadow of flowers. I just live for it. I live for it so much. Okay, I want to tell you guys something. Let me text my manager if I could say something on stream. Wait, it's Saturday. He's gonna be so over me. Pero, is that Carla? Carla, are you gifting? Carla! Is that Carla? Carla, is that you? Carla, because I want to talk about Carla. I want to talk about Carla because Carla, is that Carla though? Because Carla is a Venezuelan icon. She is a collector who was the person to buy my first painting ever. You know, remember when I put it out on Insta and I was like, I want to sell my painting, but I want it to go to a home of someone who I live for. I don't just want it to go to like some random rich person who like, I don't know what their vibe is, you know, like, so like people made different, actually were, it's, she got two, but the first one was the my faith spinning helicopter hover over troubled waters radially, girl, it's infiliminal. I'm gonna take with my time, I'm gonna love what's mine, residual energy amplifies. Like the red text. And then also about a self-portrait. So basically, she's from Minnesota and she just supports, she works with this beautiful project called Castel in Antwerp with her husband, who is also an artist, and it's like basically almost like a non-profit. Like if you show your work there, and they don't take a commission. Like it's like an initiative to encourage artists to you know, kind of like show their work. Carla, it is Carla. Yes, everyone show some love to Carla. You know, this Carla was iconic and encouraged me to paint, because I was like, I'm gonna put my painting up to anyone. Will anyone even care? Like, I mean, is this self-absorbed? Is this ridiculous? Why am I even going off like this? And Carla was just like, yes, yes, girl. Paisana Venezolana. Like, I chatted with her, and then I got such a good vibe that I was like, yes, please. It's going to a beautiful home. And that makes a difference. Like, in my day-to-day life, I was like, okay, well, me dio confianza. Carla, gracias. Iconic. Iconic. So yeah, thank you, Carla, and thank you for gifting subs. That's beautiful, very generous. I want to make beautiful music for everyone right now. I want to make people feel okay. Let me see. Let me get the piano. It's funny because I have the high notes of the piano on the right, so you can't see them. Basically, the high notes of the piano for me are sacred because they are so emotional for me. Like on Zen, you have held apart. And then on Mutant, at the end of Mutant, you have child, which is like the low. And for me, I kind of see like a yin yang. Oh, I haven't asked Ray. I knew I was going to do something. Let me ask. Let me ask him really quick. Like the low frequencies of a piano, they kind of remind me of, wait, let me see. I'm gonna text. I want to tell you so bad, Ray. I'm so glad you brought that up. You're gonna flip out. Also, Ray, the message, the video, the clip that you have. Oh my gosh, yes. Let's do this for Ray. Ray. One second. I'm getting a present for Ray. Ray deserves a treat. One second. I need to download something though. It's weird because when I click out of live, it glitches. Yeah, but I have something for you, Ray. Give me 1 second. I got this thing. Ah, this is so annoying. I want to play it for you. 1 second. I'm looking. Okay, so here's the thing. I No, it's actually it's. I know you think it's the Shirley Manson thing. It's not. It's actually the. You know the track that Ray has pinned on her profile. I got it mastered. Wait, I need to find it. Fine, you know what? How about this? How about this? Because everyone is in here and it's intimate. I'm gonna play the unmastered, unmixed version, but Ray, just know I see you and I've seen your commitment to that beat. So I've listened to it from start to finish these days and I was like, no, Ray knows. And I got it. I'm like processing her. So, but let me play the full one. For the record, it's not a very long song, but it's very energetic. And the lyric is, she speaks in tongues. Woo! She speaks in tongues. This for Ray. Radio. You tore me. You have committed. That's a pinned tweet for a minute. I've noticed. I'm so glad I remembered that was going on. I'm pointing my toes right now. Like, if you see my toes the whole time, it's like I'm pretending that I'm wearing heels the whole time. Like, my foot hurts. I feel like there's no blood, no circulation going into my foot right now. It's crazy. I want to cut it off. Girl, amputate my pointy heel toe. Okay, sorry. I know sometimes I go like full crazy, but you know when you're just so excited about it that you just point your toe so hard that it hurts. No, you don't know. Oh, okay. Well, what should we play now? Antopoyasis, are you making fun of me? Ray, no, you are so beautiful. Thank you so much. Just know that that's unmixed, so you still have something to look forward to because I got it mixed and I'm just gonna get mastered and. You know? Yeah, no, Ray, shout out to Ray. Imagine an Arca performance in pointy shoes. Oh, charlazo. Wait, Miss Acid, you walk in on tippy toes? Wait, what do you mean, Nick3345? What do you mean, gay remix? You wanna hear Confianza? Okay. Just a reminder, this is a track with one of my favorite producers of all time, Clark, aka Chris Clark, aka the synth sculptor icon, aka field recording king, aka sound design ASMR legend, aka like one of the nastiest producers in the game since ever. And so shout out to Clark. The like so I just if you're like Clark's music is insane. There's so much breadth. And so that on one side. Next up, who else is involved in this track? Cardo Pusher. Let me tell you about Cardo Pusher. Cardo Pusher not only worked on this song, but also Que Lo Que with Rosalia. And Cardo Pusher is co-writer and co-producer of that. What does that mean? What does that mean when someone co-writes? That means they didn't just produce, they actually have a contribution to the song that you can represent with sheet music. Cardo Pusher said this synth loop, like the beautiful melody that like loops in Que Lo Que, that's coming out soon on June 26th. You haven't heard it, but there's a melody in there that is so beautiful. And Cardo Pusher, Luis, I actually know him from Caracas. And I know him since I was 14. Think about this. You know how iconic it is to collaborate with people that you like? Because we have a collabo since we were 14. So please follow Cardo Pusher. Show some love. I want to keep making music with Cardo Pusher like till the day I die. Like it's such a beautiful relationship. Cardo is actually also here in Barcelona. And he and his girl Eva and his beautiful dog, we link up, we party together, we dance together, we go to shows together here as much as we can. I miss him so much. I can't wait to see him in person soon. Cardo Pusher is the bomb. Bye, Antopoyosis. Gracias por todo. So yes, Confianza is with Clark and Cardo Pusher. And this is not the final version of the song. As you know, anything played here on Radio Diva is subject to tweaking, to changes, to edits. So it's an ever-morphing, fluid thing. Tus falta de respeto. Falta de respeto, tú. Yo, wait, this track is... I love that song so much. So, the piano in this is Clark's. He sent over this gorgeous piano. And I just like sped it up. And I was like... And then Luis Cardo sent these drums. And I just like brought them the two things that they sent in together. And I was just like, yo, this is so magical. Like, making music and collaborating is so crazy. And I just got so hyper. Voila, I'm putting a heel on. It's literally... Wait, but what kind of mood am I in? This styling is so ridiculous. I'm wearing like my PJs. And then I'm wearing this thing that I got when I was out in Korea in like a secondhand market that I've been wearing every day. Basically walking around in Barcelona, I'm like, yes, this is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing this because I've been hearing some weird like, I'm like, yeah, it's full. It's full. We're going off like, I love it. I'm putting the heel on. Because this is my favorite heel of all time, actually now. I think it makes me so happy. I've worn these for years. I'm never gonna let these go. Also, maybe I could do my lips. But I was thinking about going out for a walk, but maybe in a little bit. I want to hear Con Confianza again when I have heels on. If you know what I mean. Okay. Wait, sometimes Lane sticks up her toe and she licks like why does she do that? Okay, let's do this. Should we do type 2 if you want to hear it faster? Type 3 if you want to hear it slower. Type 2 if you want to hear it faster. Type 3 if you want to hear it slow. Type 2 if you want to hear it. Type 2 if you want to hear it slow. I see 3. I see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2. Oh, I see 2.5. I see 2, 2, 2. This is hard. You know what? I literally feel like it's a 50-50 right now. I think it's a, I think the only solution would be to play it slower and faster at the same time. How can I do that? I can do -5 and then I could maybe like, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm being ridiculous. I'm being so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm being goofy. Okay. I literally played this down faster and slower at the same time. Let me do slower. Because it was 50-50. I'm just gonna flip a coin and say slower because this track bangs so hard and I feel like things kind of never sound worse when you pitch them down. I feel like it's like it just makes it like slow-mo. Whoa, you heard that? The first screams. Oh my gosh. It's 4:14. It's about to be 4:20. So, I think I should go outside. How long have we been doing this? Let me see uptime. Did you say uptime? How do you check how uptime? Ray, I don't know what's going on. I think the coffee is hitting me crazy. Well, because it's 4:20, should I eat a gummy? I don't know how it's been an hour. It's amazing. Bella tú. Carla, thank you. SQWAZIZAL. SK Wasisal. That's Carla. Voila, you want food gummy? La bata de abuela con la gio. That's actually a mood. I wonder if I could get the full look because it's like I am in both. This is my octopus tights. Carlos makes fun of me for these. Every time I wear them, these tights, he's like, "What? You're wearing your jellyfish tights?" He thinks they're like the dorkiest thing ever, but I love them. Plus, they're super comfortable and they breathe. And also, they're not even jellyfish. It's octopus. He always gets it wrong. But whatever. If you really wanna gag Carlos, be like, they're not jellyfish tights, they're octopus tights. Dice tu tía que cómo blanqueaste los codos, reina. I have never, what? I've never, ¿cómo te blanqueaste los codos? I've never done, yo me lo exfolio. I exfoliate my elbows, but I never whiten them. I exfoliate them when I remember to. Bye, perra del futuro. I'll see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I feel such a different mood. I came in so so meek, and then I got so hyper because I played Stick It, and that was for Ray, and that just got me excited because I thought about all the times that I've seen that on Ray's profile, and then Confianza, I love that song. Let me play something else. Let me play. Okay, can I ask you your thoughts? So you remember that song that I played once on stream, Bebe Gigante, that track that Carlos made? I kind of sang on it. I sang an idea, but I don't think it's like, can I play a snippet and you tell me if it's, basically I don't want to ruin the beat because it's such a good beat. So I don't think that this might not be the final one, but I don't know, just like you can hear it's an idea basically, but I don't know. But please tell me if it's not cute or like don't be shy because I feel like I could do this beat is so nice, like I really want to do something sick with it, so. Wait, let me just try. Yes, it's so breezy. It's really sugary though.
Do you really wanna go this far? Do you just wanna play with this far? Do you wanna come get with this far? Do you wanna feel me? Cause if you feel me, I could feel you. I could feel you too inside of you. And you inside of me. Baby, if you want, emotions running on. All the way up from the break up.
This part.
Taking me back to you. Taking me back. Yes, taking me back to you. Feeling alright, taking me back. Taking me back to you. Feeling alright, taking me back. I wanna feel you, I wanna eat you. I guess I got a little bit of cannibal inside in me for you, cannibal. I guess this is how much I love you. I guess that's how much I want you. I got the strength to show you how that you relax. But I'm not gonna hide. We still got together. Come over another night. So thank you. I'm gonna ask you to dance with me.
Wait, you know that I don't write my lyrics in advance a lot of times. Like unless I'm like spitting, I don't write it down. And this part, I was just like off the dome, and I was like, I say this part in the middle of it where I was like, I said, I want to eat you, and then I was like, I guess I have a little bit of cannibal inside of me for you. I guess that's just how much I love ya. I guess like about wanting to eat someone, and that's when I was like, okay, wait, this might not be the final idea, but is it cute? I don't know. Help. I'm gonna play it from the start. Just share your thoughts. I'm not serious. Like I don't actually want to eat anyone. It's just like that feeling of like wanting to, you like live for someone and you want them in your mouth or like inside of you, and it's just like silly to go cannibal. But I thought it would be funny. I don't know. But girl, I don't want to put the track out and then people being like, Arca is a cannibal. Like, what is wrong with you for liking her music? Like, do you know what I mean? Imagine. Girl, you know that the girls serve. They'll be like, did she say she was sick? Like, cause the lyric is literally I guess I got a little bit of cannibal inside of me for ya. Like all cute. Like I guess that's just how much I love you. Like what? I know Miss Acid. I'm playing. Let me play. Let me go get a fruit gummy. Like Boyla said.
Do you just wanna play with this one? Do you wanna come get with you wanna feel me? Because you do. You feel me too inside of you. And you follow me, baby, if you want. You can turn it around. I'll do it until the break of. Taking it back from it all. Taking it back. Yes, taking it back to it all. Right, taking it back. Taking it back from it all. Right, taking it back. Taking it back. I wanna taste you, I wanna feel you, I wanna eat you. Oops, I guess I got a little bit of cannibal in me for you.
Oh my god, Shola, that's a great idea.
She's spazzing already. So it's cool? You like it? Oh my gosh, Art Pie, don't make fun of me. You think, I mean, I didn't even finish my coffee. I don't know why, I've been fasting a lot lately. I've been fasting a little bit, like intermittently. Because I'm putting out an album and I wanna give Skinny Legend. Is that problematic? I mean, I'm taking care of myself. I'm sleeping right and I'm eating enough, but like, honestly, I wanna give Skinny Legend. I was telling a friend of mine, like, I wanna give Skinny Legend. I want to, even if it's just for a little bit, like maybe later I can't be Skinny Legend, but bigger. Okay, thank you. No, I know. I'm opening up about something because when I look in the mirror, since I was like 8, I was always like, "Ugh, what do I do with my body?" I've been through it all, girl. I've done protein shakes, creatine. I've had water weight from the creatine. I've tried to be as tradey as possible. Basically I was like, okay, I was like embodying trade so much that I would like hook up with people and they would think I was like a top. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe I'm like misrepresenting something here. I'm not trying to be silly and say that like anyone that looks a certain way is a top or not. I'm not saying that I'm oversimplifying it, but like I tried it all, girl. I tried to be as big as possible. I tried to be like take up more space. That's what bodybuilding kind of is, right? It's like you want to literally have more molecules to you, so you like take up more space. Like really let that shit sink in. Sorry for my curse word, but this is the topic. Dysmorphia and dysphoria intimately linked. So basically I was like, okay, well, interconnecting things. Like I feel like in my life, Miss Acid, don't. Well, a top is someone who, excuse me, mutant, I can't with everyone in here is being so silly. You see what happens when the hive gets like, I can't. when you stir the pot, the beehive goes. I see tea getting spilled. Basically, it's like it was one thing in my life to come out about who I was attracted, you know, what kind of what I was attracted to. That was like one stage, and then the other stage was like, how can I feel attractive? And I don't know why, but it felt always more comfortable for me, even if it came. It's crazy because even if it came to like, you know, when you present in a gender non-conforming way, people like strangers and people at social settings would be like, oh, I know what that's about, and then they already like will skip to either being shady or living for you a little too much just for like being gender non-conforming and not knowing anything else about you. You know, like you kind of it's a statement, and it's an important statement, so you know people really kind of like register it. And so in my whole life I felt like there was an instance where it was like, oh, I should look like what I'm attracted to, you know, like if I'm living this lifestyle, you know. And I came out pretty late in my life as gay, so I was just like, I wanted to, you know, be with people, and like and so it was like, but then I was like, wait a minute, like maybe it's better to be alone than like misrepresent something or hide something this much. And that's kind of like where I started. Brian, what are you saying? Because I see that people are battling. Yeah, no, I'm talking about. I'm spilling truth tea. Yes, Chella. This is this is what they gave me for that event, and I got to keep it. You guys know about fashion, right? Art pie. I think that's true. There is no accurate representation of self for a lifetime. Only what feels right in the moment. I think that's a very important point you're making. There is never. It's not that there's a misrepresentation, but that there's no way of fully representing one's interiority, and that there is no right way, and that there is no wrong way. Really, that's what some of the conversations, you know, regarding gender can contribute to the concept of intersectionality, is that there is no right or wrong way. I think that that's something that's special. Oh, art pie. No, but it's true. No. I please don't think that I've like reached a point in my life where, you know, like I feel like the past is less me. No. That was me every step of the way. And, you know, even in some places I kind of go against. I want to resist some of the trappings of you know, like I hear people. Did you see J.K. Rowling talk about transgenderism? I was like, okay, because transgender is a word that kind of came into public knowledge after the word transsexual and transvestite were already, you know, kind of like a thing, right? So, transsexual and tranny, like, are these words that, you know, I mean, we should shy away from? It's like there's such a strong insulation around these terms that you can really never know what they mean to everyone, because they're so loaded and there's such a mystery. No one really knows why dysphoria exists. No one really understands what compels someone to literally break with their immediate community and express something, even if that will get them ostracized, even if that will get them disowned, even if that will get them kicked out of the house. I mean, to me, that's an expression of love. And when I heard that comment I read a comment from someone recently, from a rapper, and it was actually a female rapper, and she was talking about transness as like gatekeeping transness. Is like, oh, you're trans to piss off your parents, or like that kind of thing. And I'm like, that's such an interesting way to look at it, because I think it says a lot more about the person saying that than anyone's transness or anyone's dysphoria or anyone's queerness. I mean, think about it. If you really reduce your main life's expressions to being a reaction to your parental, to your upbringing, you are kind of coming closer to what, like Freudian analysis, right? You're coming closer to the idea that our childhood and our birth have such a lasting impact on how we form bonds and on how we see ourselves. And that's not far off from the truth. The thing is to think about, like, when it comes to pissing off parents, I did live that, you know, and so that comment struck me. It was like, but actually it was the other way around. My parents were keeping me from expressing this. My dad was like, look, I can do it when you cross-dress on stage. Oh no, actually that didn't happen. That took him a while. At first he was like, this isn't gonna work if you keep dressing as a woman. And I was like, I will. It was, you know, I was like, okay, well then maybe we don't have to have a relationship. I mean, doing that, having that conversation with a parent is way more annoying I think way more annoying for me than it is to him, because at the end of the day, any kind of parent that sees their child as an extension of them, as someone that needs to fit into how they think, it's so simple. Here, I'm going to sum it up. It's the difference between a parent thinking that they know what's best for their child and a parent trusting that no one knows what's best for anybody else, because nobody has access to the interior life of that person. And some expressions make me flinch when they're like, no, I know you. That's not your color. Like, you can't wear a sweater that color. It's not you. Like, anyone around you who's saying that is literally talking more about themselves. That's a projection. That's a projection of how they see you, of how it's comfortable for them to see you. So in the case of my transitioning, a lot of people that lived for me before, where they liked me to be gender non-conforming as a man, kind of like fell back. They were like, I don't get it. It's not convincing to me. It's not, you know, I don't see it. And really, that says a lot more about the other people than it does about me, because, honey, I took my time and my space, and I've been in analysis for 3 years. I was trying to discourage myself from transitioning. For most of my life, it has been, don't push the button, don't push the button. It's too messy, don't push the button, don't push the button. Nobody will believe you, don't push the button. You know, like, there's this part of transness that's inherent. That's like, am I trans enough? Am I queer enough? Am I gay enough? I mean, this is a conversation that has to do with queer stigma. It's not just about transness. And so when you ask yourself these questions, it's like doubting a faith. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have a prayer that, like, it's important to express something, and then you doubt it. That's faith. That's more spiritual to me than just going to church like a robot, like an automaton, for the look, and then being like, yeah, we're churchgoers, yeah, we're holy, but not actually one day saying, like, girl, is God real? Like, that to me is theology. That to me is saying, is God real? And then choosing to believe. That to me is a gag. Not the girls that are like, God is real, and if you ever doubt God, you will be smitten in the afterlife. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that spiritual questioning is a part of human nature. It's what helps us move beyond our ego. You know, it's what encourages curiosity. It's what leads to surprise. Right, Woyla. If you want to smite me, then smite me. That's literally what I gave. Building! Woyla knows. Woyla, you know too much. You're gonna get smitten. We're all gonna imagine the okay, so No, boy, I live for it. If you want to smite me, then smite me. You tore it. Delsley, we can quote, we can't prove that anything is real other than ourselves. Questions help us explore what could be real. You know, I would agree with that, but sometimes I question whether I'm real. And that's the gag. Not like me in the face of like others, but what is me? You know, when you say we can't prove anything is real other than ourselves, what is ourselves? Because is it ego? So here's like a quick little breakdown of a thing I've been thinking about for years, and it took me forever to understand. I'm not a fan of Freud. I do not stan Freud. I try not to stan in general because that's like an easy way to overlook qualities of yourself that you're projecting onto others. But I do come closer to standing Jung. So Jung and Freud were two figures in psychoanalysis that they kikied crazy and came to them some breakthroughs. Some people say they were lovers. That's the tea. And then they battled. And Freud was like the girl that was like, banish her. They banished Jung. Why? Because they were like, Jung is a hippie. She's too mystical. She's too feminine earth. Like, get her out of the building. And Freud was like, I have the answers to everything. I'm daddy. Right? And so they literally banned and banished Jung. And what Jung was saying was like, Freud, you're right, but not entirely. And Freud couldn't take. But basically Freud's postulate, Freud was brilliant. I'm not trash talking Freud. I think he's brilliant, you know, period. I think there was beautiful connections he made that no one had made as lucidly before him. But just know he had a crew. It wasn't just Freud in a vacuum. He had his, like, it was like a disciples thing. It was a little bit of like a cult, but it produced some very meaningful works that influenced and impacted how we see, you know, the word ego. Think about that. That's kind of translated it into every country, but into every language. It's like ego is an easy to understand concept of how we relate ourselves to the other and ourselves to the collective. You could say this is a little bit of gay psychoanalysis. Why? Because psychoanalysis is actually a field where gayness and queerness is very unexplored. You know, that's what got gayness out of the DSM as a mental illness was actually advances in psychoanalysis. So it's not a joke. But here's it in a nutshell. This is my understanding. Ego, superego, id, right? That's the self. We're not just ego. We also have a superego and an id. Let's start with the superego. The superego is the voice. It's an internalized voice inside that says, this is how things work. It's the voice in your head that's asking you to conform to the rules that you have learned, that you have been imparted upon by those that raised you, and it's saying this is the right thing to do. It's like the aspirational part of the superego. It's telling you, yeah, voila, I would say morality, but the superego actually isn't exactly morality. It's more like the morality that you've been taught, the morality that you know, and that's dependent on the culture you were raised in. There is really no such thing as a universal definition for morality, but rather, you know, microcosms into which an accepted morality becomes a norm. So tradition, superstition, those also form part of what I think informs how our superego modulates our behavior. But I wouldn't say that tradition and superstition is a form of morality. It's an idealized morality. And that's important because, you know, at some points, yeah, the parents, it's like the parental voice. It's like how your parents, you know, what were they telling you was right? What were they telling you was wrong? And what were your teachers telling you was right? Well, you know, it's imparted upon you by authorities. So that's the superego. And after a while, when you come of age and you move past adolescence, you move past the phases of understanding, okay, death is real. Not only are my parents going to die, not only does, you know, my goldfish die, that's the first lesson. Not only are my parents going to die, that's the second lesson of mortality. And then the third one is the gag. It's like, wait, if my parents are going to die, who you saw as these immortal beings, then you realize that you're going to die. And this happens at a very early age developmentally.
Some argue, at least I argue, that the superego really consolidates in that moment. Because all of a sudden you wake up to the fact that you're not going to live forever and that your parents are not going to live forever. So you really cling to this system of belief that if you do well, your life will be meaningful before you die, you know? It's something that it's like, if your superego is too strong, then you control yourself too much. You know, you put a straitjacket on. If your superego is very weak, you kind of, people around you don't know how to connect with you because they can't find the shared agreements to understand that you are on the same wavelength. So you kind of, there's a balance. Then you have the id. Oh God, the id is in some ways, I wouldn't say the opposite of the superego, but it's the yin to that yang. The id is your instincts, your impulses, your animality, the part of you that says, no, this feels good. I'm going to express this, even if the superego is shouting at me and telling me, no, you can't do that. And so the id is in large part our unconscious, our dreams, are the parts of us that can't be articulated by logic or reason. The life force that connects all of us, the collective unconscious, the ways in which we don't even understand how we are entwined with others, the mystery of our consciousness. We have a direct pathway to all other beings through the id, the same way we do with superego, except the superego is like the formal part. It's like a tight bow tie telling you to sit up straight, whereas the id is animality. And so those two are constantly at war. And there's a way, the ideal goal, the idealized goal of like self-realization is to say, yeah, the id is naked. Chola said it. The id is naked, and it's shameless. It does not have shame. The id is eating the apple in the Garden of Eve and then being like, I did nothing wrong. The apple tasted great. Actually, the id isn't even saying all that. The id is just going like, apple, yummy, period. You know, the superego is like, you know, like, and then we reach the ego. The id is learned, innate. The superego is learned, the id is innate, you know, so there is an element of tension. It's like a life energy that's coming out from inside of you, and then a superego trying to channel it in ways that won't get you, you know, that won't make connection impossible, basically, with others. And then the ego is this modulator between those two. That's how I see it. I know that other psychoanalysts might see my stream and have a lot to add, have a lot to say, but in a nutshell, the ego is a modulator. It is the place where you can put your willpower and either discern consciously and with intention when and how you will let off steam for the things that you repress. You know, because think about fetish, think about kink, think about humor, think about what makes us laugh. You know, someone argued, I forget who it was, that, I think it was Freud, yeah, it was Freud. He was talking about humor. He has a whole essay just on what things make us laugh. Yeah, Cholazo, the link between the outside and the inside ego. Absolutely. And you mentioning that there's more than two planes, love it. I'm with Chola. Like, there's multiple dimensions to each of these, you know. I'm not saying that these are the answers. I'm saying these are kind of like, in a nutshell, ways that you can understand them, but I encourage everyone to research for themselves. So basically, Nick, I don't think that the models over-rely on individual agency because unless you understate the significance of the id. Sorry, my asthma. Because the id, no, Nick, that's the superego and the ego. That's when the superego and the ego get too strong. Like if you want to be like a perfect citizen, you're probably the scariest person. You know, it's the person that's going, oh, that's bad. Oh, that's against the rules. Like, you know, or, you know, it's like actually like upholding a system of what you're saying. But I don't think that the terms themselves lead to that. I think that's when we over-identify with our ego. There's probably always something to add, yeah. So basically, back to the ego, it's a modulator. That's where we can really put our willpower, our intention. That's where, you know, when some people are like, does free will exist? Does free will not exist? I don't think it's that black and white. I think it's not nature or nurture. Why am I queer? Why am I trans? Is it nature? Is it nurture? It's both. Literally, don't be so binary about it. And so once you sit up against this uncomfortable tension, then you can really start to make space and find different ways to see it. And so the ego is where you can say, you know what? I'm attracted to this and I don't want to be attracted to this. My superego is telling me not to be attracted to this. What do I do? The ego is where you can think, discern, create an identity that manifests and represent the things that you find beautiful, your values. Nick, it's a complete construction, forces in and out of control and inside language. I like I'm responding to because I think you are onto something. It is a construction. I mean, I'm saying all this stuff in language, right? In a language, in English, and not just in English, but in the English of 2020 and the English that I know. And sometimes when you talk about stuff like this, it can sound like academic, like I have the answers. I don't. It's true. The language is absolutely imperfect and only captures a tiny fraction, less than 0.0001% of the actual truth. Why? Because everyone's truth is very different. And we all interpret literally each of the words that I'm using in different ways. So it's like exponential degree of like there being no one truth. That's the fallibility of language. And I welcome I welcome you always to point that out. I think that's beautiful. Nick, dissolution, formulation. How about integration? How about we don't dissolve or dissolute or formulate, but how about we just integrate? I think because the word integration leads me to diversity very naturally. Not just a diversity of others, but the diversity within oneself. The diversity of self-states. You know, if you literally, you know, the way you treat other people, the way you see other people is a reflection of how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as like one thing, hey, Angelito, then you will see other people as one thing. If you allow yourself to see yourself as an ever-morphing, fluid, you know, ever-morphing sentience that is constantly dying and being reborn over and over again. Our cells, our biology attests to this. Literally, our cells die and they regenerate until they don't. And how miraculous is that as proof that we're not just one thing? That's why non-binary was the way that I wanted to break the silence after like 4 years. I was like, okay, excuse me. I had a swan song funeral for myself on my last album. Then I had 4 years to live life. What isn't the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth album-wise? It needed to be a statement of change. It needed to be a statement of diversity, not just diversity in a politically correct sense of like, you know, like, but even in the politically incorrect sense, like the parts of us that are messy, the parts of us that we feel have no space, they need space. They need to be acknowledged. They need to air out. That could be a concern or a passion with gender identity. That could be a concern or a passion with what you like to, how you connect with people. But it's the questioning that's more important. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just the philosophy. The difference between philosophy and politics is that in philosophy, no one needs to be right. It invites asking the question many times. In politics, people are arguing as if they are the one with the answer that is correct, and that they need to spread the gospel of their truth. Philosophy is this space where things can be fluid and ever questioning, and no one needs to take anyone else down, you can ask questions. There's usually a question in the face of someone that's like trying to like absorb you or overtake you. There's usually a question that opens the door to thinking about it differently. Chola, let me get the inhaler. And I invite the 112 beautiful individuals in here right now to ask yourself, what could that question be? What could that question be? Yeah, Apple Dose, we do. I think we should strive to find questions. Strive to find questions and not answers. You see, asking the right question is better than coming across an answer to a question that we think is the right one. Because shit's gonna change in a minute. Like, and also, we change our mind about things and we grow. Like, finding the right questions to me seems like such a valuable and worthy cause. Coming together and using tons of energy to ask the right questions is actually more important to me than finding one right answer. I don't even know why I'm coughing. I love the collective so much. I love the world so much. That's why it's so messed up when I will walk around the street and people just stare at me for being different to them in some way or say some stupidity. It's like in the back of my head, I'm like doing all these calculations. You know that meme with the woman that's like calculating? She's like doing math. That's me when people come for me randomly. I'm like, girl. Yeah, curiosity is always welcome. Ethics versus morality. Carla. I haven't spent that much time thinking about the distinction between that. What are some people's thoughts regarding the ethics? I don't like the verses though, because it's like then they're fighting already. I'm like, what about if ethics and morality, like, where do they overlap in a messy way? How do you get to that rather than like how they're different? Because I'm very much in the mood these days to find similarities, to find kindredness, but the kind of nuanced ones that inherently show you that there's a bridging of two differences, that there's an integration between two extremes. I like that. I know, Miss Acid, I don't know why I'm coughing. I think I haven't slept that much lately. I've just been doing a lot. But it happens, right? I've just been so much going on. Like when my head hits the pillow, I'm just like, you know what? I should drink water, Jake. That's a wonderful suggestion. Björk would always tell me about water. She's like, drink water, drink water, drink water. It's the best thing you could do. You know, when I was like, I would ask her like, wait, I'm gonna sing a concert. Like, my voice isn't doing so well. I have a sore throat and I have this big show in 3 days. How do you handle your vocal cords as like an ally in times of stress? Like, how do you see that stress? She had tips and tips and tips. Bless her. And water was the main one too. I don't drink enough water. I feel like I either like compulsively drink water. Sometimes I'm like, I need to drink water. I haven't drank water all day. And I run and I drink the water so fast that sometimes it spills over me. And that's when I'm like, okay, girl, you're carrying. Like, bring it down. Like I'm parched. Oh, are you asking about falsetto? Oh my gosh, maybe we can do some. Maybe we can hear different voices. You know, there's. Can I talk? Can I talk about something very real that I actually never talk about very often? I'm scared of the. I'm scared of speaking in softer voices sometimes because I feel like I'm causing a mess. Not here. Like here, I feel comfortable to be soft, and but when I'm out in just out in the world, like I wish I could talk. I wish I could talk this soft and have like this tonality of my voice, because I think it's gentler on me. It feels gentler. Like when I use my chest voice, sometimes it feels like I'm like pushing through something, but I don't wanna. I don't wanna seem vulnerable to people, like too vulnerable. Because I feel like I've had such uncomfortable situations with strangers. No lie, it's not the most inclusive place trans-wise where I moved to. That's kind of part of why I moved here though. So if I'm like walking around, it takes bravery for me to present like I'd like to, you know? I have to work myself up to leave the house. Sometimes I like check the stove a million times. I walk around with, you know, pepper spray. Because sometimes it so shows. I love when I'm in New York because like people don't look twice. In fact, in New York, it's so cool. I once told my friend this and he was laughing. I don't want to like idealize New York, but basically in New York, I feel like it so shows that like if you see someone who has like a nasty look on. Thank you, Luna. Oh my gosh, Luna, let me tell you what I love New York. Basically, I feel like in New York when someone has a nasty look on, and a nasty look could be anything. It could be you see it for them, or you recognize or understand an expression they're giving, or you find a mood beautiful and unique. When someone has a nasty look on in New York, people, it's like a code that you're speaking through, and people tend to like ignore them then. Like the way that I give life in New York, it's like I clock someone's look and I'm like, oh, that's fab. And then I just like look away, and I might like steal a glance to see if they're paying me dust back, and if they are, I'm like, yes, we see it for each other. Does that make any sense? That's like a luxury though, to be able to do that. That really only happens because there's like so much diversity and so much sharing of space between different people, and I love that. That's so like it's like battles. I think that's so beautiful. And in Spain, I don't get that. In Spain, like, it's, I mean, I do, but oh my god, it's miraculous. I've seen like 2 trans women ever here. 3. No, that's not true. I'm being so dramatic. I've met a bunch of trans individuals here, gender nonconforming individuals that made me feel, it's a matter of amount of times that happens to you. I don't know if that makes sense too, but it's like, if the frequency is that rare, it's like more life-saving. It's like even more of a big deal. You know, like you don't take it for granted, but at the same time, it leaves you wanting more of that. That's why I think I was like, when I brought it up first, I was like, oh, it doesn't happen here. And then I was just being dramatic. But it does. It happens everywhere in the world. Airports, girl, airports are so scary. I mean, in Spain, it's interesting. They have Almodovar, right? Like the 80s, they went so hard. It was like the place in the world that was like producing so much stuff that was like so queer and so ahead of its time. And so London, oh my gosh, London is scary. I got followed to my house once in London by 2 guys that were shouting at me. That
was so scary.
I think that actually held me back from how I expressed myself in London. And I think it actually also held me back for a lot of, like, it was scary. Plus the 2 times I got burgled. So between that and the 2 times I got burgled in London, I was like, scared. Yeah, no, that was so scary. Wait, what do you say, Silas? You were chased by dudes for wearing skinny jeans and looking gay. You never want to leave the house. I know. You know what though? You just you can get smart about it. Cause it's like, it's messed up. Like after that, I was like, okay, well, let me try and dress as like safe as possible. Like, do you know the difference between dressing for your safety and dressing for your life are so different? And at some point I was just like, you know what, like, I'm down to give up my dressing for my safety, because I remember telling my friend, like, I don't want to be seen as a woman only when I wear clothes made for women. I would love to be seen as a woman when I wear clothes made for boys. And that's when he was like, what? And I was like, basically. And it's true that transness doesn't grant you that. That's more of a thing of like passing privilege, but basically it didn't even matter to me. It was just like, it still felt more concise and pure and important to me to maybe, if I wear boys' clothes, to be seen as a tranny. Like, for all the static that brings up, I still felt like that was better. That was closer to, I would take that risk. I would, like, even if it's like a static, like a noise, like this non-stop glitch that was inside of me, and all of a sudden I could just put it outside. And if I put it outside, maybe other people see that noise, that static, and they'll be like, stop causing that, I'm gonna hurt you, or stop causing that, I can't control myself, I'm repressed my attraction to trannies so much that I need to like lash out at you. That happens. But I was like, you know what, all of that sounds better than just silence. I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I think it's important to make your statement and make it loud. And whatever community you're in, find the line and then back away from it. Don't find the line and cross it too hard so that, people can't. I hate that, like if you present in a gender non-conforming way, if you share a feeling of non-binariness through how you present or how you be, well, Nick, this is what I'm getting at. Don't put yourself in danger. It's not worth it. Well, there's 2 dangers. If you hide it too much, that can be more dangerous than what anyone else could do to you. Hiding yourself can be more dangerous than anything anyone could ever do to hurt you. Because there's a dignity there. There's an existentialism of believing, am I real? Are my feelings valid? Am I human enough to deserve showing who I am? And that can be more dangerous to me. So you find the line. Yes, Nick, I know there is real murder, okay? It's in potential risk for murder that one opens oneself up to, but honestly, if we all ripple at the same time, if we all find the line and modulate, we can change the world. And we've seen attitudes change a lot. Since I was a kid, in this topic, I feel like the world and the conversation has changed so much. So we need to keep going, in the face of all, like, don't put yourself at risk unnecessarily. Don't bait danger. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Be smart. But also shine bright. Shine bright like a diamond. And if someone's asking you to dim your shine and it puts you at too much danger, to not, then bide your time, girl. Dude, like, bide your time. Just bide it and get out of there. Get out of there. Snip that cord. Even if it takes years, even if it's messy, just know the glimmer of light and hope that you could take that time for yourself to unwind what had been coiled up because you needed to hide it. You needed it to take up less space. Well, you know what? Take that time tonight for yourself to unwind. And non-binariness. And non-binariness. It's both. Tell people, don't put your shit on me. Bitch, I'm special. Everyone is special. It just makes me, the one thing that really gets me is when people talk about snowflakes. It's like, you're so dumb. Snowflakes are all unique. That's the point. You're literally proving the point by talking about snowflakes. Periodo Radio Diva Experimental. Was that silly? What I'm saying is we are all snowflakes. We are coming together through language. What does trans mean? What does queer mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? We're coming to that as like a shared agreement. And one word means something different for everyone. Just remember the fallibility, the fluidity, the imperfection of language, and you might be less willing to point the finger and say, I don't understand that. Rather, how about this? I don't have to understand that. I don't have to understand that in the other to respect them. I don't have to understand this feeling inside of myself to respect it, to act on it. I don't have to understand every part of me in order to honor it. And isn't that a metaphor for what it's like to live, knowing that we're going to die, without knowing where we go when we die, without knowing what happens to our consciousness, and still loving in the face of fear? I think about all these things a lot. I'm really passionate about it. I mean, I don't think that is something to fear either, but I'm terrified at it. Oh my God. I just am. I mean, this is the thing though, I don't think that where we go after we die is bad. Okay? People are like, what? Like, what I'm saying is, I don't think that the unknown holds automatically a bad surprise. It can hold a good surprise. And that makes a huge difference because then you just are not certain. And if you're not certain that where we go is a void that automatically feels worse to be in, if you're not certain, then why do you act as if that certainty is something that's important to, like, stick to, take risks, take a leap of faith, shine bright. It's a shine bright. Oh my God. I do believe in love after love as well. I believe in love after love. Do you believe in love after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't. Okay. Like, why would she carry? Let me play a little bit of piano. How about this? Thank you to each of you for being here. This is very beautiful. I'm gonna play a little bit of piano. We can. I mean, people talk about snowflakes. Snowflakes are water, and water can cut steel. Snowflakes are made out of a molecule that shape shifts sensitively with its and modulates with its environment. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? You're literally breathing the same material that composes snowflakes right now. In and out, moisture. Just feel that moisture in the air. How beautiful is it that we're breathing so many different materials that compose us? Not only are we made of water, but also we breathe it. It is the material through which we move, and in its fluid evermore we shimmer celestially. Okay, was I uncovered? I felt that. Please remember, I've been in heels the whole time, so that's why this stream I've been carrying. Who was it that told me to put these on? Who was that? Ray, bless you. Post-human celestial sparkle. Wait, so should we do an ASMR again? Piano ASMR? It relaxes me too. Oh my gosh, I have an idea for ASMR. Do you know that feeling when you're talking in front of a fan and it's going like drrrr, like it feels so good? Wait, I can also pan left to right in your headphones. If you're wearing headphones, this is probably so funny. Is anyone wearing headphones? Because I'm going left to right, girl. Yes! No one ever plays with stuff like this on live streams. Who else is carrying like this? Who else is carrying like this, talk, girl? If anyone has ever pan play ASMR. That's like a whole new YouTube category. It's like ASMR is like one thing, but pan play ASMR? Oh my god. Wait, I can also speak. Oh girl. Wait, what? This is crazy! Wait, I'm going to the bathroom. Be right back. I need to go to the bathroom. What? I don't understand my mood swings, but if you're all into them, I'm into it. Are you into it too? I don't know what is going on sometimes when I stream, but everyone's so cool. Let me go to the bathroom really quick. But also, wait, help. Oh, I ate the gummies. I ate like 2 little gummies. I remember someone. Oh, I'm so silly. Wait, let me play this Bebe Gigante song again. Wait, let me play that one again. It puts me in a good mood while I go to the bathroom. Radio Diva! I mean, Diva Experimental!
Do you really wanna come to this? Do you just wanna come get my first diva, you wanna feel me? You feel me too inside of you. And you're inside of me, baby, if you want. We can turn it around. I'll do it until the break of. Taking it back from the doorway, taking it back, taking it back. Just taking it back, taking it back, taking it all right, taking it back, taking it back. Taking it back from the doorway, taking it back, taking it back. Taking it back, taking it back, taking it. I wanna taste you, I wanna feel you, I wanna eat you. Oops, I guess I got a little bit of cannibal in me for you. I guess that's how much I do you. Because that's how much I love you. I wish I could show you in a way that you would like. But I'm not gonna bite. We still got to get into know one another, right? So bite you, bite you. I'm gonna ask you to dance with me.
Radio Diva. ¿Qué tal?
Oh my gosh, is that your awake?
Oh my gosh. Están haciendo un one train. You're doing a one train. How dare you? How dare you do a one train? You guys are awesome. Oh my gosh, how do you do it? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, should I record that? Just to see if I tuck it in there? I recorded that. I'm happy because I was seeing a one train when I got in here and was watching the one train out of the corner of my eye, and I was like clapping. Oh my gosh, Rosalia, you are so stupid. I love Rosalia. I know, she tore claps. In her music, she tore claps so severe. El Mal Querer is like, it's like, she's clapping. So good. I mean, clapping is so cathartic. When is the last time you like clapped hard but to a beat? Not when you were cheering or anything. Ugh, it's so fun. I wonder if I could. Did you think that the snare was cool? Like the clap helps though, because I feel like the beat has so much kick. Oh, I can't tell you. Sorry. Yeah, Woyla and Ray, you're both so quick. I can't. I can't. I spoke to some. Basically, in order to interface like with different professional opportunities that I'd like to do my best to like, to do something beautiful with those platforms, and then talking with my mutants here, with you, like I need to sometimes do a little bit of like Sudoku, like it's math as a little bit of like, oh, maybe I should be mindful of this boundary because it might take away the surprise or the pleasure of it developing and being a surprise, So I like balancing like spontaneous, generosity, but never lose sight of like this larger project outside of a spontaneous moment that I've been working toward or that I'm attempting to work toward over a committed amount of time, like with my, over the course of time. So sometimes I speak too soon because I'm a spaz. I think that's the thing. It's not like I want to tease. Sometimes I just like realize it a little bit late, like, oh, wait. But I also, it's fun maybe because I like let you know also like the creative process is ongoing. Like I'm doing the stream right now, but before this and after this, I'm working on stuff that is like also weirdly like it's for you. Like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm thinking of ways to like make it fun for everyone. So it's like a long-term thing, more like yeah, that's the hope, Woyla, that you feel that, and if one day you don't feel that, that's okay, but that's definitely the ideal goal, like to make it fun and for everyone. Yeah, I like surprises because I believe that surprises are like positive. Surprises are like such a nice thing. Like if you like something and you didn't know you were gonna encounter it, like there's like that's fun. That's what fun is basically for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to be like I want to have fun and like plan fun. Actually, no, that's not true. You can plan fun when you like make a play date with friends, and that's important to make space to like make space for fun to happen. Basically, that's actually how I think it's cool to think about it. I think I want to make space for fun. It takes like you need to consciously do it because we could be on a treadmill of worrying 24/7 all week, and before you know it, that's how you had a month. And before you know it, that's how you did a year. Like that's a real thing. So it's both. Diva Experimental! Oh, the reverb didn't go off. That was embarrassing. Diva Experimental! I do it in the last syllable because it's like my voice will always crack, and when it's without reverb, I'm like, oh. Diva Experimental! No, it didn't crack. It doesn't always crack. I'm being silly. Okay, so the claps on Bebe Gigante. Maybe let's see. Maybe I'll like make it sound not like a clap, but I like the rhythm of it, Cause if you tell me, I can feel you. I feel you too inside of me. Oh, you feel me too. I always get the lyric confused. You feel me too inside of you. Yeah.
taking it back from it all, like taking it back, taking it back. Taking it back from it all, like taking it back.
Bye, Apple. Oh my gosh, Lane is there. Maybe I'll gate it. So it's kind of noisy because I think when I record vocals, here's something I've never talked about, but basically my laptop is the fan is loud, like you can hear it. Imagine if I wish sometimes I had like a recording booth, but then I couldn't be this intimate. Like even if I angle it away, see, I think you hear the fan less. But I'm usually like cutting out and EQing out the noise of my fan, like every time. Well, I always do it basically. It's like an engineer. Oh, okay. It's like an engineering part. Is my voice too loud, or are you good? Let me get water. Okay. Yeah, I think I just need to drink water. Thank you to whoever recommended that. Cholazo hyperpop, is that how are we feeling about hyperpop? Water sounds? Hi, Angelito, well, because Chola said it sounds hyperpop. Like describing the vibe of that. Chola was describing the mood it was giving them, and hyperpop is hyperpop, and I like that. I mean, hyperpop is beautiful. That word is beautiful, beautiful word. Bubble popping sounds, no, because see, I'm already like, I did a clap and the girls were like Rosalia, and I was like, okay, wait, let me change the sound so it doesn't sound like a clap, because like Rosalia ate out claps. And now you're saying bubble popping sounds, but I feel like that would be coming for a sound that like Sophie ate out. Like I try to make, I look at like all my peers and everyone I respect, and like I'm inspired by it, like music I love, and but then I want to like put a twist on it. Like I don't ever want it like to like directly, do something that will remind me of that person, let alone anyone else. But it's cool if like all those influences come together inside of me and like combine and then produce something where it's not like I'm trying to avoid it, but I'm also not. I mean, claps are iconic and bubble popping sounds are iconic since forever. But you know what I mean? Like it's like a style thing. Does that make any sense? Like thinking about it like that? Like I try to keep it in like a nice tension and balance. Oh my god, no, I know. La Chiqui is so hard. I love it. I don't know what my style is. It's like, I like to think that we all have so many styles. And I think about like genres, like, what if we saw genres like a technology? So it's like, you can make music and work with a genre or a style or a tempo, and then have people say like, oh, that sounds like it sounds like acid house, or oh, that sounds like folk music, or like these are actually like whole technologies that have been built up across the course of many years by many musicians, kind of like speaking in the linguistic style musically of that genre, and then having it recognized as that, or then having it seen as like a departure from that, and that's interesting. So, because I feel like we can, it's like, what's the similarity in style between pottery and cooking? You can find similarities, right? They're both methods of expression. They both require time and energy to make something in that creative medium. They're both handwork. Temperature is important. the feeling the temperature of the material in your hands. You have to be very careful with your movements and deliberate about how you chop the vegetables or how you sculpt out the little bumps as you're making a shape. Then you present a sculpture, like you present a finished plate, or you present that vase or that teacup that you made. So how about imagining that the differences? Well, there's differences. One of them makes a sculpture, the other one makes a food, or a sculpture or pottery or anything you want to make out of that. But imagine seeing like genres like that. Like, what's the similarities between acid house and folk music? Well, they're both kinds of music. They both have like particular stylistic markers and beats per minute that they work with. I mean, you can kind of recognize acid house because it usually uses 303 synthesizers. You can usually recognize folk music because it uses plucked string instruments or, flutes, or like, kind of like there's something kind of like of a difference as well between them, right? Like one of them's, dance music in the tradition of electronic music, and there's a 4 to the floor that comes in and out, and the other one, folk is a form of storytelling that is, has a different origin. It's more with acoustic instruments, tends to be. So if a folk artist is working with synths, that's kind of like a statement. And if an acid house producer is working with, plucked mandolin, that's a statement. And so that's kind of like where I feel like we could explore genres as technologies of like you insert different, you put yourself in different points of views, and you also manage to see, oh, maybe this feeling is more easily suited for me to express in the format of acid house or cooking than it is in folk music and pottery. So it's kind of like in that sense, Yeah, terminology. Beautiful, Chulaso. But I like it. I like specific language and technical language. It's cool. It's like where like EQing and making music has so much technical language. Oh, thank you, Royla. That's a compliment. I take that as a very high compliment. A musical cookbook? Yes. Speaking of cookbook, it's 5:30 p.m. and I haven't had anything to eat today except those little sips of coffee that you saw me have, and water. And I think I should change that. So, I think now would be a good time to wrap up this stream for the day. I'm gonna get a sandwich and make that sandwich and think about intention and think about these conversations we've been having. It's so nice to hang out with you here today. Thank you. This was a spontaneous stream, off schedule. We didn't do Friday night, we did a Saturday morning. 2 p.m. is my morning stream, and we had beautiful conversation. Thank you so much to everyone here right now, tuned in to DIVA Experimenta. Okay, this is very, 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 very cute. I felt very relaxed today. We talked about so much. We talked about so many things. It was very much a talk show stream, wasn't it? Yeah, one train. Let's do the one train. Radio Diva! Diva Experimenta!